Good morning. Welcome to Just Talking 24, page 77. To start it off, sorry about the tank top, but it's freaking hot. Um, by the time you see this, yesterday would have been the first day of summer. Happy belated Father's Day, by the way. And temperatures, well, right now, it's the day before Father's Day, it's Saturday. There is no wind. Temperatures are easily maybe low 80s, 81, 82, but humidity, because there's no wind, oh, it is so freaking hot. I've taken a shower already. You know, I know it's Saturday and I have to take a bath on Saturday, but I just did it early because I was so sticky. Just can't stand it. My wife has AC in her room, and I got a fan. But see, my room is really good because we sleep in separate rooms. I'm on the north side of the house. She's on the south side. So I get what little trades there are. Yeah, I get them comes right through my room. So my room's nice and cool, usually. And last night was kind of bearable, but come on into the living room, man. It is hot. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about something that's kind of disturbing to me. Okay. As you know, this week coming up is going to be Leon Day. What is Leon Day? It's Noel spelled backwards. June 25th is halfway to Christmas, so get your shopping done. Wrap those gifts. Really, look, from Christmas to now, it was a blink, 6 months gone. But it'll be here before you know it. But Leon Day is something special for every other year. See, every 4 years we celebrate leap year, yeah? Well, every other year in Hawaii we have elections. Yep, that's right. And it's funny because the old regime is going out. They're phasing out. My generation, the old farts. Anyway, they're all retiring, dying, whatever. And the new kids coming in. And I call them kids because they're in their late 20s, early 30s. They're kids, okay? And I've had four come to my house. They go house to house and say hello and everything. There are five running, four came. And because the incumbent don't come because he's sitting there already, right? So the young, hungry ones come. And what I do is I ask them one question, the same question. What are you going to do about Hawaii's economy? Yeah, because the young, they should have young ideas, different, stuff that's different from what we've been hearing for the last 4 decades, right? Don't you think? 3 out of 4 gave me the same rhetoric. Number one, better paying jobs, higher paying jobs. Number two, affordable housing. Okay. Number three, we're going to increase tourism. Well, I don't know about higher paying jobs because our job hourly rates have not kept up with inflation. Affordable housing. The average cost of a home in Hawaii now is, I think, $1.3 million. So that's not working. And number two, tourism. Well, actually, tourism, the numbers are down since COVID, but the numbers are down, but the spending is up. Okay, so you draw your own conclusions, right? But the 3 out of 4 had the same answer. I mean, what do? If you're going to run for office, they give you a pamphlet saying 50 of the most commonly asked questions, and these are the answers by the Democratic Party of Hawaii. You know, that's what it seems like. I mean, we are blue. We are a blue state, unbelievably blue. I mean, we're surrounded by water, yeah, but I mean, we are blue. And yeah, 3 out of 4. The fourth guy gave me a little bit more balanced answer. Yeah. But you see, this is the thing. The three that gave me the standard answers, they're local boys. They're from Hawaii. The fourth one, he originated on the East Coast, but he's not white. He's not Haole. He's I don't know if he's Thailand or Cambodian or whatever, but he is not of well, he's not from here, but he's not Haole. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? So, like I said, the election's coming. And we're going to participate in mail in voting. Yeah. And I've always been against it. And, it came out of the COVID thing. Okay. I mean, you just follow the dots. Okay. Mail in voting. I went online and I have three AI sites that I visit. One is GChat, which is Google. One is Copilot, which is Microsoft, and one is Grok, which is Twitter, X. And I asked all three, same question, the same question. Explain to me why we do mail-in instead of computer. See, I wanted our voting to be computerized. You jump on a computer, put in your name, address optional, but social security number. Yeah, a social security number. And when the social security number comes out, that thing will tell you whether the person is alive, dead, the status, the most recent status of it. I'm not saying it's a fail-proof system, but that system is more fail-proof to me than mailing in a ballot. But when you go online, all three say the same things. Oh, the election experts, whoever the frick they are, how do you become an expert in elections? You majored in elections and election fixing in college? I mean, I've never seen that on on the criteria or the class lists, class offerings of a college. So I don't know how you become an elections expert. Yeah, but anyway, the elections experts say that the U.S. Postal Service, okay, is more secure than Social Security's internet. Yeah, than the government's internet system. It's saying that the government's internet system is not secure at all. So our national secrets and everything open to the public, right? Yeah, right. You follow the dots. Like I said, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, it's a duck. What they telling me that the postal service, now this is a postal service, it's a government, company, subsidiary, and they're constantly losing money because they're so inefficient. You know, the I remember when stamps was 2 cents and then they went to 5 cents. And now they're what, 75 cents for a letter, less than an ounce letter, 75 cents. And they want to go and they want to raise it some more, because they're still losing money. Well, why, you know, that's one thing President Trump should look into. Tell him, no, 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 no. You make your place work efficiently. How? How do you do that when you promote from within? Because all you're doing is promoting the inefficiency. Yeah. So this mail-in ballot, I mean, it's a reflection. I always said a company or organization is a reflection of management. Like when in the police department, we used to have this thing called FTO program, Field Training Officer. And that was before they had the corporals, they had an FTO. And his official title was MPO 9, Metropolitan Police Officer, rank 9. And he was the senior man of the sector. And he'll take the newbie under his wing and he'll show him the ropes, right? Show him how to do it. But think about it. Why is this guy the senior man of the sector? Because this is a loser that couldn't make it to sergeant for whatever reasons. Okay, he couldn't make it to sergeant. Why would you let this clown train the new kids coming in? All you're doing is perpetuating his bad habits. And sure enough, you look at the kids that got trained by him. A lot of them got the bad habits. I just went on X. They had this what was a video. They arrested the guy, and they had his hands already in cuffs, and you see the cop slamming his rib cage, and they said, "Oh, because he tried to bite the officer." Well, get your arm away from the guy's mouth. You know, I don't know how they train nowadays, but with all the cameras around, you got witnesses of the yin yang. What we learn is the same thing that holds true. You subdue the guy, you cuff him, throw him in the back of the car. Just say you under arrest, throw him in the back of the car. Our cars had plastic shields between. So if he wants to bite, he wants to spit, he wants to kick, whatever, he can't break through the car. And now they say, well, nowadays, they don't do that. Well, go back to the old days. Because they work. You get the guy in the car, you dump him in the car, you take him to the station, pull him out. Read him his rights. As long as you don't ask him questions, he don't need his rights. Yeah. You just tell him you're under arrest for, being ugly in public or whatever it is, and just throw him in there. Yeah. That's what we used to do. And that works. Confidentially, if you lick him inside cell block. But you don't lick him right in front of the video cameras. I don't care if he tried to bite you. These guys, they're going to try anything. They're going to spit, they're going to bite, they're going to scratch, they're going to, well, they're already subdued. They cannot move their arms because they coughed. They're going to kick. I mean, just pick them and just throw them. Well, we used to have paddy wagons. These were half-ton trucks with a box in the back. And they have them on the mainland, but they use vans. But we had actually trucks, with big wagons. You could walk right inside. And we would get the guy and just, if he was really bad, ask for the paddy wagon. They bring the wagon out. You just throw him in the back. Yeah. Throw him in the back, and then you cuff him to the guy, to one of the rings inside. And he just lying on his back and just bouncing all over the place. Because the ring, he cannot stand up because the ring and the cuffs, you're about 4 inches off the ground. If you can sit up, like that, fine. But all you can do is sit up between the benches. Oh, but, and they were after, they said, oh, you never been there. I've been there. Yeah. I mean, we've had guys kicking and, scratching at each other while we're escorting them to the car. So he kicked, and they actually kick because we holding their arms, right? And we escorting them to the car. So they kick, and we look at each other, we nod, and the next time he kick, oops, slipped. Sorry, Bro, you all sweaty, slippery. But anyway, let's get back to the mail-in voting. See how I digress? Just get me going off there. All three AIs said that the because of the barcodes on the envelopes and the signature in the back, it makes them more secure than the internet. Okay? You have a paper trail. Well, if you go on the internet and you put in your SS number, okay, you have a virtual trail. And from what I was told was once something goes on the internet, it stays on the internet. If the system is a secure system like I hope it is, your ballot is there. Like a paper ballot. Say, hey, my ballot wasn't written. Which one was yours? Same thing with the mail-in. The mail-in got your name, got your signature, got your barcode. That's identifying you. The anonymity, anonymousness is gone. They know who you are. They know who you voted for. They didn't even know, what you ate for dinner last night, probably. See, people don't see that. So it's already, By the mail-in ballot, it's already infringed. By my signature on top and that barcode, my anonymity, anonymous, gone, gone. Doesn't that remind you of some kind of government? Not democratic, not republic, where, dude, who did you vote for? Who you vote for, comrade? Yeah, that's what it means. That's what it sounds like. Sad. It is. It's infuriating, and it's infuriating that whoever program, and they must use the same program because all three. You go online, go try it. GChat, Copilot, and Grok, and ask them the exact. Just ask, write out the question one time and copy it, and then just ask them. Explain to me the difference between the differences of mail-in and computer voting. That's it. And they'll come with all the spew of why mail-in is so good and how bad the computer is. And they make the computer seem like it's such a faulty thing. Yet they're always telling us that computer they're gonna steal your ID and all this kind of crap, and you gotta go NordVPN or whatever it is. Yeah, something lock. Yeah, LifeLock. All this kind of stuff because of what can be done. But oh yeah, mailing in one ballot is way more secure. They're gonna they lose balance. It's chain of what is that called? When you have evidence and you have the chain of admission, well, chain of releasing, and it's the process of somebody giving it to another guy. Oh, chain of something. Continuity, chain of continuity. But anyway, in a paper ballot, it's got to go from hand to hand to hand to hand. You got many hands in there. Remember that game I told you, the telephone game in grade school, where you say something and then it just pass it on, pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Yeah. But yeah, so you get hand to hand to hand. A lot of things can happen to a piece of paper when it's going from hand to hand to hand. For one thing, no more guarantee that the box they gave you of ballots is the same box that left the polling station. I mean, that's really paranoid, but no, it's possible. Yet on internet, unless you get a hacker in there, the hacker can be should be identified pretty quickly, because you're gonna have guys online and you're gonna have programs online specifically looking. See, a lot of times the guys, they get away with hacking because the system's not looking for it. If you teach the system to look for it, and this is only for one day for voting, yeah. So it's not that expensive. So don't give me that BS, okay? But you get this chain of command thing, or the chain of continuity, yeah. But it's, to me, a computer, although it's not fail-safe, way more efficient. Then they say, oh, what about the people that don't have computers? Then you get computer banks they can go. It's just like, what about the homeless? They don't want address. How you going to mail them something? Same thing. Don't get feeble with me, because for every feeble you get on one side, you get on feeble on the other side. If they really wanted to vote, they would make the effort. And then, we have 31% voter turnout. That's 1 out of every 3. You think the homeless really vote? You think they really give a rat's patootie about it? Come on, get real. Get very real. I know I'm looking at, I don't know why, but I'm fixated on the corner of a door back there. Yeah. I cannot see anyway. I gotta go like I told you, I'm going for cataract surgery. Oh, I'm building a work shed out there. And when you get the fuzzies from cataract, you cannot really see the demarcations on the tape measure. Close. I'm doing a lot of sanding. I want up 20, 23 and a half inches. The thing ended up 23 and a quarter because one went quarter inch, so you got to take, quarter inch off the rest. It's either that or you're going to spend a fortune on the recuts. I cannot wait until I get my cataracts taken care of. Yeah. So I'm looking at this thing above the door. It's right above the corner. I don't know why, but the corner of the door is right above the camera. So if I'm looking above the camera, I am okay. It's the heat. Oh, I'm getting weak from the heat. Yeah, but yeah, this mail-in voting. It just. But then, okay, when did it start? It started during the COVID. Well, we found out that the COVID was all bullshit, right? It was executed by the Democratic Party. So the Democratic Party, maybe that's one of the reasons why they made the COVID. So they could get the voting so they could take care of the election. Maybe, who knows? It's so convenient. Circumstances, coincidence, I don't think so. This kind of stuff was planned. Like I said about my 9/11, that was a planned implosion. It was planned. I would love to say that no, it's just how things happen. No, this stuff was planned, folks. Yeah, and I'm not gonna be around. Yeah, I'm not gonna be around for history, but this recording's gonna be around, and this recording is gonna. Hopefully, they're gonna see it because it's gonna be in the cloud. They're gonna find Just Talking 24, and then they're going over all 722 pages. Hey, I'm on 77, gang. I'm 10% of the way there. Hope I get discovered before then. No, really, I'm running out of. Um, Actually, I'm not running out of topics. Yeah, I just saw Just Talking 64 because on my I watch YouTube, yeah, and the selections Just Talking comes out, and so I saw 64. It was all about death. That was a pretty good one, man. I gotta admit, that was pretty good. But this one is elections and how dirty it is. And you see, like I told you, all the kukai, the doo doo, all on the surface now. But these three guys come up and tell me the exact same thing. What does that tell you? They're parrots. Yep, that's the answers that they give, and it's always the same three things. You tell them, you know, like I said, higher paying jobs, or they might throw in better education, improved educational system. Tell them, well, we're gonna get the money for that. You know, in fact, I think I talked to one of them and I told him, do you know that our DOE cannot be audited? What you mean? Yeah, years ago, maybe it was 10 years ago, but they brought a mainland auditing company in and they took a look at our Department of Education. And their final report to the state house, the education committee on the state house, was we can't audit your educational system because it's so mired in bureaucracy. It's so just it's just so we cannot get the numbers. We cannot get definite numbers. Now, this auditing company doesn't have judicial powers, you know. And I think if they could have gone to the subpoenas and subpoenaed these guys for get the numbers. But I mean, it's so mired in deception and fraud. Of course, you know, our representatives say, no, there's no such thing as fraud in Hawaii. But it was so mired in that they said, we cannot give you any type of audit that we would be, you know, responsible for. And all our legislature did was say, thank you very much. They paid the bill, and there has not been anything else done since. And true, they're going to say we had an audit done, and nothing was found, which was true. An audit was done, and they found out they couldn't do it, so nothing was found. But it's true. You see how turn around words. Same thing about elections. Yeah, if the system likes you, you're gonna go. It's always been like that, and I guess it's always gonna be like that. Yeah, the game's the same, just the names have changed. Like saying, Vegas is legit. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when the mob goes legit and they lose control. Look at him today, losing the money. I was seeing on a commercial on TV that the Wizard of Oz is playing at the Sphere. And I told my wife, this generation, they don't know what Wizard of Oz is all about. They don't know the simple pleasure of watching, Dorothy and Toto with the Lilliputians. Not Lilliputian. Who are they? They're not Lilliputian. That's Gulliver. Oh, yeah. Anyway, it it escapes me. The little people in the kind. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and the songs, especially the songs. Somewhere over the rainbow. That was that was not the songs, the song. That one song made the whole movie. And they put it right at the beginning when it was black and white. But yeah, so like I said, we're another election year. I don't, and they say, oh, you're so down, well, pessimistic. And no, I'm not pessimistic. I'm realistic. Like I said, 3 out of 4 guys came. They gave me the same answer. It's gonna be the same thing. Why do I vote? I just hold on to that one right, the right to vote and to cast a ballot. That gives you the impression of being in control of your government. It gives you the illusion of your vote counts. And maybe one day it will. Well, we got Trump in there, right? But J.D. Vance, he's I don't know if he's really screwing up so that Rubio can take over. Because maybe JD don't want the kind of crap that's happening to Trump. The pressure and all that. He don't want that. He'll take second seat. Yeah, you know, you couldn't pay me to take Trump's job. I'd have the world at war. Iran, Iran would be Apcoa parking lot. That's the way it is. Just you dick us, you gone. And I'm sorry about all the innocent people, but that's just the way it is. I know. That's why I would never run for president, and no, I wouldn't expect anybody to vote for me. Well, the few diehard, yeah, totally radicals out there, yeah, they would, but not me. But anyway, that's my spiel. Electronic voting, yes. Mail-in voting, not really. But that's what we have anyway, because our state is so liberated, yeah, so equal. Anyway, you have a good week. Like I said, hope your Father's Day good. Remember Leon Day, so you know, put a tree out, or blow your kind, blow your neighbor's mind, and hang a wreath on your door. But hang on upside down or inside out or something, for Leon Day, backwards, right? Yeah, I'm sick. But anyway, you guys have a good one. Ahui ho, ma lama pono, and always aloha. Take care, like, subscribe, and you know the plea. Give me questions. Okay, bye bye.